It's red left switch, Z right, sprint right G, U corner, halfback flat. Nice and easy. Let's walk it. Here we go.
Here we go. We got the Rhino, Alex Boone, a decade in the NFL trenches. Our guy Jay, this is a big week for Agent Jay, okay? It's Senior Bowl week.
Still ding him.
He's got players. We have to ding him for not
being
excuse. Here.
No excuse is a good excuse. That's what Harbaugh used to say.
Oh, he's in luck because my sound bar is disconnected over here.
Dude.
There we go.
Boom.
Almost got off the hook there, Jay.
Almost got it, but you did it. Yeah, no, it's really a big time for everybody right now. The Senior Bowl's going on, the Shrine Bowl's going on. A lot of guys are practicing. Agents are going nuts right now. It's a crazy scene, but this is it, man. This is where it gets really fun. I know they have a lot of meetings going on. The kids are practicing all day, then they're in meetings. Dude, I tell you what, it's already flying by too. And I was just talking to Welly the other day, my partner in the gym, and I was like, Bill, we're almost halfway through. I was like, my God, it's flying by. But these kids are having fun. We're having fun. It's such a chaotic moment. But when you look back at it, it's so awesome. And it's so cool to be on this journey with these kids and to be with them when they're the most stressed out and you're just trying to calm them down all the time and make them laugh. I feel like the coach on the baseball team that's walking out to the pitcher that's not doing, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just, what's my next joke going to be? I don't know. I'm going to have to tell them something though, because I got to calm these guys down. It is such a trip though.
Yeah, for new fans of the O-Line Committee podcast, YouTube channel, these film breakdowns, click that like button and the subscribe button.
Do it.
But Booney trained Joe Alt last year. Like Booney's training dudes for the combine.
Yep.
Jay in his job, Alex training the next generation of offensive linemen. Jeremiah, agent, sweating it out down there in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. And then, we come together and clown around and break down the Eagles running the ball down the Commander's throat in the NFC Championship game.
How could you not? And to be fair, I just want everyone to know, I was so impressed with Jaden Daniels this year and what Dan Quinn has done and what this Washington team has done that I wanted them to win. Because I was like, you know what? These dudes have gone through a lot this year. And at some point, you got to just root for them, right? Did we know that Saquon was going to go nuts? Guys, we've been talking all year about how amazing Saquon is. We've told you he's the MVP. We're not even concerned. Like, right? It's either going to be him or Jahmyr Gibbs. Someone's going to walk away with this thing that really deserves it. But, dude, honestly, this first play set the tempo. And I hear coaches say this constantly. We have to set the tempo. The minute that he pitches this ball, it's almost like you could tell immediately, oh, God, they're out leveraged. Right there. They're out leveraged. You're in trouble. I don't like my numbers. Look, you got one guy on the ground. You got another guy stepping on the back of him. You got receivers out there doing things. You got Jordan Mailata pulling out there.
The Mailata block is like checkmate, right?
He makes this block look so easy. And I told our tackles we're working this block next week. Look at that. He just buried somebody, put him in the ground, and stomped on their skull. Look at this. Look at this. No, not going to catch me. Not going to get me. Oh,
dude, God, remember what I told you guys? I think it was last week. And I said, we need a stat for, let's run this back here from the wide. We need a stat for gain. Well, there is. We got missed tackles. That's definitely a stat that's tracked. But a 10-yard gain, like this should be a good 10-yard chunk that turns into a 60-yard touchdown because offensive line does an amazing job to get the 10-yard gain, right? Nice little 10-yard gain. But this dude right here takes 10-yard gains and makes them house calls more than any other running back in the NFL.
Right there. He should be down. Right there. You're down. Nope.
Look at this dude.
20 gets another chance he misses. And then after that, nobody's catching him. And I think that's the one thing that nobody knows about Saquon is he is so fast. He is so big and so fast and so strong and so elusive. And what I love about this play right here, Dallas Goedert, watch as he pulls around. I want you to slow it down. This is interesting because he kind of tells Jordan Mailata, like, hey, you take him and I'm going to keep going, which is not really the right thing to do because they say you should never pass up color because you don't know what's going on behind you. But see right here, watch. He's going to point at him real quick. One more frame. Right there. See, he's like, hey, you take him and I'll go up. And it ends up being perfect. And we talked about this. Jordan Mailata getting out here with perfect depth, so hard to do, right? So hard to do. But then you have Fowler fall down, and he just causes this huge pile up. Dude, this play is – who gets that Fowler block? Is that A.J. Brown?
Let's see here.
I think it's AJ that gets him down.
So watch number 11 here.
He spins. See that? And then the foot traffic. It's really the foot traffic with Bobby. Yeah, Bobby should be a little bit deeper, but at the same time, how many times are we complimenting receivers on this show for blocking? Like, dude, he got in front of him. He got him on the ground. That was a great job. This spin right here, look at this. Looks like it's effortless. I'm just going to do the spin cycle. Nope, I don't want to go that way. My God, it looks like he's not even trying, and everyone's like, oh, no. This is why Frankie Luvu was jumping over the pile, because he was like, no chance I'm letting this guy get away with this, which everybody knows drove me freaking nuts. Hate that.
And then a couple
offensive
plays later here.
Once again, Frankie Luvu, look at him. He's mad too. He's like, where's everybody?
Guys, I'm gonna have to jump over the pile if we don't clean this up.
I'm gonna have to do something silly, guys. You made me do this. Oh, I love this. Hey, this is simple zone read, right? Like, we're simple, weak. We have a single on the front side. Go back real quick. This is what kind of confuses me. I'm not sure what Jordan's doing. Get us sure everybody's lined up, because we're going to talk about it. It's an even front, right? We always want to run these versus even fronts. We should be singling to 4. We should be being to Bobby. I don't know why he doesn't get into this, though.
68 here.
Yeah, he's kind of a little bit late. It's not bad. Steen gets enough of them. The problem is right here. See how Frankie Luvu tries running through? We've talked about this. The lateral movement with 26 is off the charts. Like, you're not. No, you're not.
Is he supposed to? Is Luvu supposed to be unblocked on this play?
No, Luvu is supposed to be. So you have Lane Johnson will take the end, and then you have Mekhi Becton and Dickerson are gonna. We call this a single up to number 4. Right. Okay. We want Dickerson to push him across, and then we want him to climb. He gets a little bit into the block. I mean, I'm not against it. I'm all about it. But at some point, if you can't get off on number 4, it's a problem, right? Because that's our guy. This ball should ideally go back like 3 frames. This ball should ideally follow Mekhi Becton's outside shoulder right into the end zone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's like through here. You're
correct. Saying. Lane's just creating this little lane for him. That's why I'm not. I mean, Jordan. And I think what he sees, and we talked about this last week, and it kind of got a couple of guys in the gym go back a little bit. The minute that Bobby's not stacked on this 3 technique, you're probably thinking there's pressure coming from the outside, right? Because in a normal world, Bobby would be right over that 3 technique. See how he's getting wide? Pause. Instantly, the tackle's probably like, hey, there's a lot of guys out here. Bobby's probably in man coverage. Someone's probably coming from the outside. So instead of blocking the B, you turn the B into a C versus movement. So instead of going with the guard, and the 3 technique does kind of go down, but Steen's feet get too close together. See that right there? So he kind of ends up throwing him off the block a little bit. Mailata's just, as soon as that 3 technique goes down, he's like, well, I'm going to create this wall backside for Saquon to run into. It's kind of like, nothing really happens and he gets caught in the middle, but it doesn't matter because 26 is our running back. And even with Frankie Luvu running through the A gap, completely untouched, you have 0% chance of touching this dude.
And he's on, and instead of cutting here through or on the right of Mekhi Becton, he bounces it and then outraces 0 and is it 20?
Those guys don't even look like they're trying. Stop it. Look at them. They're like, oh God, we didn't have to tackle him. Thank God. I'll tell you, man, it's a business decision. It sure is.
So here's a real quick here, just for fun. I was looking this up yesterday. Purple Daily, our daily Vikings commiserating podcast. The Eagles' offense. So I consider they measure yards before contact and they measure yards after contact. Yards after contact to me is more of a running back measurement. Like, okay, it's right, you get hit. How far can you go after you get hit?
How tough are you?
Yards before contact to me is, and there's some scheme that goes into this too, but offensive line moves people and you get to run until you're touched, right?
Correct.
So the Eagles this season had 2,000 yards before contact on the ground. 2,000 yards before contact, dude. Meaning like untouched rushing yards. Well, the first one, both of these touchdowns were untouched. So that's like right there, 65 yards, 2 touchdowns before contact.
Well, the one he was touched though on the 40. I mean, I don't know if they count that.
No, like the spin move. Okay, that's a fair point. That's 20.
But I totally agree.
20 before contact.
Totally. That's way too much, by the way. Like, people are getting fired for that. I agree with you. A lot of it could be the scheme. They do love to run out of this nickel front. Like they want you in nickel. They're going to spread you out. We're going to run the ball, make it fun. We're going to lessen the box. The problem is, I love your analogy, and I think it even goes further as to say, how good is your offensive line in terms of MEs, right? Do they allow run-throughs? Do they let guys just run through untouched? Are they blocking the right people? You're right. It does have a lot to do with scheme, but you got to admit, this offensive line is by far one of the best. Probably in a long time. They've been playing at a very high level for the last, 4 or 5 years. Dude, and a lot of that is Stoutland. We've talked about that. That man is not to be messed with. Ever. They showed him on the sidelines and he just looked so mad. You're like, oh God, I'd hate to piss that guy off.
And then just, as you're focused on trying not to get gashed for 200 yards on the ground.
Hey, by the way, did you realize that was Marshawn Lattimore out there?
I did. I mean, they meant, on the broadcast,
God, I totally forgot he was. I was like, my God, dude, this is going to get chippy. I love it. Here we go. We're in an even front. We got Bobby up. What are we going to do?
Even front. We got 4 down linemen, and these are the 4, right? And then Bobby Wagner lurking.
What's my call?
So hold on. So Luvu's kind of creeping up, but I would call this a 5-0.
That a boy. Why? It's a 6-man pro. We'll take the front 5. You take the last one.
Yeah. So 5-0 right here. Boom. Pretty simple. And then Saquon 26. Looking at number 4.
Yep. Here we go.
So Saquon. So if number 4 bails, Saquon can go out and catch a pass.
Correct.
Or watch AJ Brown read his self-help
Here we
books.
Go. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Stand in there, young man. Go back. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. A lot. By the way, the O-line protection, phenomenal. Look at that. Get there. This dime that he throws. Good chunk.
Real quick here. So pre-snap. So they're going single high, but toward the bottom set of hash marks.
Who's he have?
Who does what have? Who's this guy have?
Yeah.
Is he spying?
Well, he's technically cover one. He could have Saquon because Frankie rushes. This could be a 0. Yeah, I think he'd be a little more up.
If you're Jalen Hurts and you see it's 1-on-1 with AJ Brown, don't you kind of know right away?
Oh, absolutely. You're going there for sure. I mean, dude, I trust that AJ is going to catch this ball. Inner excellence? Are you kidding me?
Definitely found his inner excellence.
That's what told him it was man right there the minute he went in motion. And once again, great pocket when you get a running back. And that's what's so cool about this is when you have a running back that can almost break the rushing record, but isn't afraid to step up in there and put his face into some shit.
Yeah.
Dude, you get so much respect from everybody because you're not afraid to be the tough guy either. Look at that catch.
It's like, Tom Brady was on the broadcast for this, and he poked a couple times at like, hey, Jalen's, you got to just get rid of the ball in that situation. They don't need much in that passing game. They don't. Like, they got to the Super Bowl throwing the fewest amount of passes of any team in the NFL. Mm-hmm. You just need to hit A.J. Brown one-on-one when the defense gives you man coverage.
One-on-one.
Right?
When they give you one-on-one, you got to take it. You got to trust your receivers. Put them in a good position. They'll make plays, dude. We've talked about it. This team's hungry, right? They're kind of built different. They like a little bit of dysfunction, but they're not afraid to go out there and punch you in the mouth, and they trust each other.
Oh, look at the block by 26.
Dude, this walk in.
This is a good one.
Nothing worse than getting beat on a quarterback draw, dude.
Look at Saquon.
It's like the last play you expect them to run. No, they're not going to run the draw. They're going to give it to 26. If they don't do that, they'll throw it to 11. If they don't do that, they're going to throw it to 88. Like, you're not like, oh yeah, he's just going to pretend to throw it and go back and just run. Dude, go back real quick. Look at Mackay back to just take on this bull rush. It doesn't even move, dude. He's like, all right, are we done? You're 6'8", 350-pound guard. Smacks him. Watch this. All right, are we done?
Look at this.
Saquon just, dude, now that we're really breaking this game down, we know why Frankie kept jumping over the pile. He is just so mad. By the way, that's definitely a fine because in every one of these plays, 26 is making him just look so stupid. Boom. Oh, God, that's a petty fine. By the way, I love that Cam Jurgens is downfield, too, doing everything. Dude,
Yeah, he had to come in. Man, he wasn't supposed to play in this game.
No, Landon went out and he came in, which was interesting.
Lower back, was it lower back?
Yeah, that's what he started with the lower, and I think
brutal,
Landon
man.
left with a knee, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he was limping around. They showed at one point they showed Dickerson almost unable to walk on the sidelines, and then he's back in the game. It's just like, man, these guys.
I hate how they do that though. You should never show the O-line on the sidelines because we're always trying to work things out, and coaches don't care. My God, did you see that burst?
AJ Brown.
Oh my God. Oh God. This is getting
7 rushing touchdowns for the Eagles in this game. The Cowboys had 6 all season. But hey, Brian Schottenheimer's here to save the day. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You're terrible. Oh my God, go back. Watch the wall of green. Just wash this down. Yeah.
Okay, in this situation, dumb question here. A lot of a dumb question.
Yeah.
Strong side of the field. You're snapping from the weak side of the field. You've got multiple tight ends over here. So you're essentially trying to get the Commanders to think that you're running it to the left, right?
Well, it almost kind of looks like the first play of the game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So instantly, see how Bobby's like, watch out there. See 11, he's like, watch out there too. Everyone's leaning that way because they think the same thing, but it's not. It's almost like a misdirection. It's all right. Go back. This used to mess me up in my brain, and me and Giro would go around and round. This is technically like a 37 split zone, but Saquon just follows it out the back. You know what I'm saying? It's the same side handoff zone, but Saquon's following it out the backside. These guys are all blocking 37 zone. They're all
Is he
running.
Supposed to really hit this right here?
He is, and that's why it messes my brain up. But then Giro would always tell me, remember, Booney, we're not talking to the running back when we talked about that. We're talking to you. Whatever Saquon does, he's right. The rest of the offensive line is going left. You hand the ball off front side. Everyone thinks it's going to cut out front side, but then you have this split go back right there. See how he's going in motion?
Mm-hmm.
So instantly, everyone's like, okay, hey, maybe this is the same toss play from before, but it's not. It's just a simple zone. And then all of a sudden, everyone gets stuck front side. Bobby gets caught in the wash backside. It could technically go right between Mekhi Becton and Cam Jurgens right there, too. See how Bobby overflows it? But
He's just showing out because he could cut it here, too. I feel like he's increasing the degree of difficulty, Saquon, just to show off at this point.
Or he's just like, hey, I'm just going to show him how easy this looks for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just ride that wave, and as long as you get push on the offensive line, people are going to get caught in the wash, and then all of a sudden you have this second tight end coming back to just try and create this running lane real fast. And see how they bluff the end? I love when they bluff the end. It is so fun because they don't know what's going on. Watch what AJ Brown's going to do.
So this dude's expecting someone to make contact with him.
Correct. Right, so this would be like, hey, let's go bunch left nasty, right? Everyone's tight, close, nasty. Bunch left nasty, Y mo, 37 zone, Y flow. And instantly you get this. See how he's just riding the wave. Where's my lane? Where's my lane? Where's my lane? Not there, not there. Oh, here we go. Right there. It's amazing, dude.
Bang.
The jump was excessive. You're right. The jump was you're right. I agree.
I mean, when you're having the season,
after 3 touchdowns, no one cares what you do, dude.
This is my favorite one because the game is over. So let's bring Shipley in here and let's try and house call one from 64 yards.
Hey, baby, you know, this is one of my favorite plays. This is stutter.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
he had the burst there and then.
As soon as they pulled Saquon, I was like, all right, I don't know if there's going to be much of a game left. And then this was the first play, and I was like, okay, never mind. I'm just going to keep it on and see what happens. Here we go. We're running stutter. Pause it. Stutter is weak side counter. Okay, so notice how the left has weak. We have no tight ends over there. We're trapping the first man off the end of the line. So technically here,
this guy right here,
it'd be him right there. And we're going to think this guy's going to have contain because he's a 3. See how he's kind of like this 3-4 defensive end? Frankie is. We're not thinking he's going to let anything spill outside because there's nothing out there. So I would expect him to kick this out. The problem is Mekhi Becton's coming for you. and he just gets out of the way enough that he's like, I don't want to take this hit. The great job is by this tight end wrapping through here with Bobby. Now up front, they go with a down. Everyone's just coming straight down. We're going to create this massive wall of bodies backwards. And if Mackay can knock this out and our tight end can get through on Bobby, you're going to see exactly why this play gets drawn up so many times.
Somewhere in there. Yeah, so Becton's about to...
He's about to light him up.
End someone's career right there. And
Frankie just gets out of the way just in time. Watch, he's running at him right now like, oh, yeah, I'm going to take this out. And at the last second, he's going to turn out. Whoop, I don't think so. See, they do that all the time.
And then look at this, man. You got
Dude.
2 more dudes with numbers in the 80s throwing blocks. And
look at this. They know the drill. Get your ass down there and block right now. Dude.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
You could have housed this, man. You gotta go.
I love when he puts 2 hands on the ball.
You know, he was looking at the scoreboard like, they're catching me. I should cover this up.
God. Oh, God.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, and
that goes to show you, it doesn't matter. Like, you kind of said it. The yards before contact, that right there is a great example. Doesn't matter who's back there. This offensive line and the scheme, they move people. They get everyone out of the way. They're going to create massive running lanes. All you got to do is run hard through it. They're doing a great job. My biggest question going forward is, with this run game, right? Do you pull Spags out of the defense that he wants to play? Because you can't just keep lining like 8 up all the time. And you can't have random dudes in an A gap because instantly we're just going to be like, hey, wipe this. And the whole offensive line is going to collapse everybody down. One guy's going to pull around and it's him and Saquon. So it's like, man, maybe I was seeing things differently. And when you look at the roster from when the Eagles were in the Super Bowl from last time to now, you're like, wow, this really is kind of a different roster. The defense is completely flipped over. Now you've added Saquon, you've added Mekhi Becton, you have Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson's a starter now. Like, everything's massive, right? And all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, this might be the team that does beat KC. Now that's easier said than done.
The Chiefs are a really good tackling team.
They are.
That's one thing that, because I feel like some of the challenge against the Eagles is they're gonna get an 8-yard they're gonna get an 8-yard gain and 10-yard gain. Can you avoid it being a 40-yard touchdown?
Correct.
With your cornerback or your safety making a tackle to save a play,
or
right?
Do you freak out and you try to play the Mahomes game and you're like, we just can't get beat by Patrick, so let's, they score a touchdown and all of a sudden it's like, does this pull us out of our run game? No, it doesn't. Like, we need to beat on this defense early so that later in the game, if we need to go up top, their pass rushers are beat down, their cornerbacks have been smashed a few times. All of a sudden the guy running a 4-2 is running a 4-4. That's why the run game is so important, because you get big guys on the corners, you can get big guys on safeties, and all of a sudden you knock that dude out a couple times, he's like, bro, I'm not moving as fast as I was. Okay, now we're going deep, right? Like, this is starting to kind of turn into it's going to be a fun little Super Bowl, dude. I'm a little more interested than people say.
To your point, and last thing, and then we'll talk more about this next week, but let's say the Eagles fall down 14-3 or something, right? Like, and then the game flow temptation for most teams is, we got to throw the football.
I'll throw it.
Their best chance to score 30 points is to still run the ball. Their best chance to hit a 60-yard touchdown, not that they can't, to A.J. Brown, is to still run the ball. So he's Alex Boone, the Rhino, 10 years in the NFL trenches. I'm Phil Mackey. I played football in 8th grade. Hopefully you learned something from me on this episode. We'll see you for the next one. That's right. 5-0, boys.